Thanksgiving, a day for honoring age-old traditions and time spent in the company of friends and loved ones. It's also time for the Cowboys and Redskins to mix it up once again. There are older rivalries in the NFL than Dallas and Washington, but none come close to matching the intensity and bad blood that has existed between these two arch rivals. One of the most memorable games played was Thanksgiving Day 16 years ago. Roger Staubach had been knocked out. Washington led by 13. An unknown backup, Clint Longley, came off the bench to throw 3 touchdowns and beat the Redskins by 1. Over the years, the faces became as familiar as old friends. Sonny Jurgensen, grizzled Bob Lilly, war-weary Larry Brown, Walt Garrison, and John Riggins. Last year, the worst in Cowboy history, their lone victory was over Washington, a loss that still haunts the Redskins. So today, while the names may be Monusky and Aikman, Rippon, and Lockhart, one can almost see and hear the intensity of the old clashes.
Just remember this, 40 men together can't lose, okay?
Texas Stadium as the Redskins are in town to play the Cowboys. I'm Pat Summerall here with John Madden. This game, although the records of the Cowboys and Redskins are not as spectacular as some, has great magnitude. And John, let's just take a look at the standings in the NFC East.
Well, I think that'll show you what the Washington Redskins come in here, and we talked to Joe Gibbs, the players, last night. This is really a playoff game to them because maybe they don't have a chance for the division, but we know that there's going to be 3 wild cards this year, and the Redskins are in good shape for those. If we look at the standings, we know the Giants are 10-0. Now look at the next two, the Redskins and the Philadelphia Eagles at 6-4. What the Redskins would love to do, Pat, is win this game, then go home, have 10 days off, watch the Giants and the Eagles play on Sunday, and maybe for the first time root for the Giants.
And John, what about the Cowboys after coming off that dismal season last year when they only won 1 game, that over the Redskins? They seem to have things back on the right track, and they have some important people back today.
Well, the thing that they do is, you know, they have a second-year quarterback in Troy Aikman, and it's going to take him time, but he is starting to develop. You know, and last week, he threw 3 touchdown passes against the Rams. I think so. You got him on one side. Michael Irvin now is coming to his own. He caught 2 touchdown passes. So they feel good about playing the Redskins, and they know that last year they only won 1 game. They beat the Redskins, and they really think that they have their number, and they come into this game with a heck of a lot of confidence.
And they'll have first shot at the ball as you look at the head coach, Jimmy Johnson. They played 3 times on Thanksgiving Day, and Dallas has won all 3. 78, 74, and 68. And they'll be on offense as the Redskins' Chip Lowmiller will kick off.
You know, the last time they played, Pat, Jimmy Johnson was saying that the Redskins blitzed them 53 times. They sacked Aikman 8 times. So he said the number one thing we have to do today is be able to get a little running and a heck of a lot better pass protection.
Keep those people away from Aikman, who said to us yesterday, of course, they played on Sunday. They beat the Rams, the Cowboys did. The Redskins won as well. But Aikman said, hey, I'm still sore from last Sunday's beating.
He could still be sore from the last beating the Redskins,
right,
even with those 8 sacks and 53 blitzes.
James Dixon and Derek Shepard back deep for Dallas. Dixon at about the 8. To about the 22. Stopped by Sidney Johnson. Troy Aikman starts at quarterback for Dallas. In front of him, Gogan, Kerr, Stepnowski, John Giesick, Nate Newton at right tackle now, and Jay Novacek at tight end. Emmett Smith and Tommy Agee in the backfield with Michael Irvin and Kelvin Martin, the wide receiver. Martin right, Irvin left. About the 21. And Aikman up to throw it on first down to Novacek. Fumble and scramble, and the ball's still rolling. Stepnowski came up with it for the Cowboys.
And it's right back at the original line of scrimmage. I don't know what Novacek was trying to do, Pat, but it looked like he was trying to reach the ball forward for maybe to get a first down. And then that thing just came flying out of there. Let's watch it from behind here. He gets hit right in the head. They're going for the strip, but as he goes, oh no, the ball just got knocked out as he was going down. Then it goes back to the center. It was just punched out of there and went all the way back and was finally recovered on the original line of scrimmage.
It was on.
Well, it's been a tough year with Joe Gibbs with all those quarterbacks in and out.
After further review of instant replay, we have a reversal. The runner was down on the 24-yard line.
Here is the Redskin defense. A four-man front. Mann, Williams, Grant, Marcus Cook. I think they've got the ball in the wrong place. Linebackers Collins, Bonuski, and Marshall. And in the secondary, Mayhew and Green, the cornerbacks. Bowles and Walton, the safety. The crowd is aware.
29-yard line, not the 24-yard line as advised.
We did have the ball in the wrong place.
Yeah, because it was just short of the first down. They said they put it on the 29-yard line now.
So that'll make it 2nd and 2. Dallas at their own 29. Martin left. Irvin right this time. Emmett Smith. Not quite enough for a first down. Gain of 1.
You know, last week, Emmett Smith was not only a runner, but he caught 4 passes for 117 yards, too. So he's not only the #1 draft choice and the runner for the Cowboys, but they're also trying to get him involved in the total offense. And there it is right there. You saw what he did last week against the Rams, catching the ball.
Jimmy Johnson said Emmett Smith is everything we thought he was going to be. Third down. Aikman gets the ball to Martin. First down, Cowboy. Mayhew made the stop for Washington.
Yeah, that's Kelvin Martin now. We know on the other side, Michael Irvin is being covered by Darrell Green. Martin coming on a crossing pattern. And if there's any pattern, any one pattern that has given the Redskins more trouble, maybe it gives everyone more trouble than anyone, that's the crossing route.
The Redskins are very effective at it as well.
And Darrell Green has a tough time covering it. You can see number 28, one of the best cover guys in all of football, always goes to their best wide receiver. Today it's Michael Irvin.
2 tight ends on first down. That's Emmett Smith outside the 40. Stopped by Eric Williams. He's in there in place of Tracy Rocker.
Here's a guy, number 55. We saw Andre Collins there, Pat, who really stripped that and caused that fumble early, just going off the field. But Thanksgiving has to be a big day in his household. There's 19 children in his family, so he has 18 brothers and sisters.
You better have a big turkey in that household.
They have to, and that's something that you could spend a week getting ready for that deal.
One back, 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers. Aikman pass complete. is Andre Collins. As John said, a rather large family. Let's wonder how many are on the active roster.
I'll tell you, that is impressive.
That is, isn't it?
I don't know with that group. I don't know that there's going to be much left except a carcass by the time he gets home.
3rd and 2. Reverse to Dixon, and he's got some room. James Dixon to about the Redskin 36. Knocked out of bounds by Mayhew. Good block by Stepnoski.
James Dixon was a guy that was a wide receiver. Then they moved him to running back. Then they moved him back to wide receiver. We see him come on this reverse. He started as a wing that time. They started the ball one way, handed it back to Dixon, coming back around the left. See, we have him listed as a running back there. Today, he's playing as a wide receiver.
18-yard pickup, 1st and 10. Cowboys at the Redskin 36. Aikman to Smith. And he is herded backwards by Wilbur Marshall. A gain of a yard.
I think one thing, this is a good game plan the Cowboys are starting off with here, Pat, is because they know that blitzing thing, and they know that the Redskins are going to try and get there early. If they do, it can be a long day for the Cowboys. So by having this drive with good pass protection and good mixture, they're winning this first battle.
Aikman 4 out of 4. They've had the ball over 5 minutes. Martin left. Irvin right. Smith to about the 25. Walton made the stop, but a 1st down Dallas.
Good blocking up front. You see 2 tight ends here in the right side. You see big Nate Newton. He takes man out. That creates the hole. Man's coming out the field. Big Nate Newton takes him out. Jay Novacek goes for the strong safety, and that allows Emmitt Smith to get a 1st down. Good block by Big Nate. Big old 61 there.
He was telling us yesterday you have to geek up for games like this. Whatever that is.
But you have to get geeked. I said, are you geeked? He said, yeah, I'm really geeked for this one. And he said, the more we run, the more geeked I'll be. He said he has a tough time with man if they just have to pass. But he said if we can get in there and we have some runs and they call some runs to my side, he said I can handle that guy.
AG got a yard, so it's 2nd and 9.
Big Nate, I don't know if he likes these drives, though. He looks like he's calling for a little wind he wants up in there in those pipes.
Well, it's kind of humid.
Nate's kind of warm.
Aikman. Pass batted away by Walton and Bowles, who were back there with the intended receiver.
Look at Todd Bowles hitting himself in the head there, number 23. He thinks that he should have had it. Look, it was right in his hands. Then it went through his hands and went right to the other guy's helmet and popped out. That's about as close as you can come to an interception as a safety and not get the interception. If it wasn't for Emmitt Smith in the way there, he would have had that one.
Aikman is 4 out of 5 now. 3rd and 9. They'll go out of the shotgun formation with Darrell Johnston back with Aikman. They almost got him. They did get him. The Redskins swarm on Troy Aikman.
That's the situation they wanted to stay out. See, because they get shotgun, 4 wide receivers. Now here comes that blitz you've been waiting for. And a whole bunch of Redskins get there about the same time at Aikman.
A loss of 6. The rookie from Kentucky, Ken Willis.
That pass rush looked like a jailbreak. Whew. They were all firing in there on the poor old quarterback.
49 yards out for Willis with Novacek holding. That won't get there. Yes, it did. Just barely got over the bar from 49 yards. And good. Dallas 3-0.
Hi, I'm Darryl Green of the Washington Redskins. And this is my wife, Jewel, my daughter, Jarrell, my daughter, Joy, and my son, Jared. And from our house to yours, we would like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving.
What a terrific guy he is.
Well, you know, he always has a smile on his face and a gleam in his eye and a hop in his walk. And the guy is always, you know, he really enjoys playing football and enjoys life and gives a lot to the community. I think he should really be a role model for what kids want to grow up to be. Darryl Green wouldn't be bad.
I think he is. That's Joe Howard at about the 3-yard line for Washington. Almost knocked down at the 20, gets out to the 25 by Ron Francis. The Redskins take over at their own 25, 1st and 10. Mark Rippon back at quarterback for the Redskins after being out with a knee injury. Had a hot week last week. Up front of him, Lachey, Grimm, Bostic, McKenzie, Jacoby, and Don Warren at tight end. Biner and the posse, Monk, Sanders, and Clark. That's his offensive setup, and it's a tough one. 3rd best in the NFC.
And Joe Gibbs, as a running coach, always wants to get the running game going. But I think he wins and loses games by how much he can get the ball to the pocket.
Biner is the lone setback. They have Warren and Jimmy Johnson, 2 tight ends to start the game. That's Biner. Behind the line of scrimmage, hit by Daniel Stubbs. And let's look at the Dallas defense. Stubbs, Hamill, the ex-Redskin, Danny Noonan, and Jim Jeffcoat up front. Jack Del Rio and Ken Norton outside. Norton having a great year. Eugene Lockhart in the middle. Holt and Hendricks, the cornerbacks. Horton and Washington, the safety. 2nd and 12. They lost 2. Rippon. Johnny Warren. Stopped by Jesse Solomon after a gain of 5. Manny Hendricks with the assist.
You know, one of the things that the Cowboys do best on defense is their nickel defense, or the defense they used to call 4-0, that they're in now. When Bill Bates comes in, and what they do is they have 7 defensive backs. Mark Rippon says this is the defense he wanted to stay away from today.
3rd and 7. Monk in motion. Rippon is sacked by Tony Tolbert.
Here's Tony Tolbert here. He was drafted as a pass rush guy, and that's what he is. He just does a speed pass rush. He starts up into Lachey, goes into him, then as Rippon releases to go inside, he just falls off to the inside.
Derek Shepard back deep for Dallas. The Lachey punt. Shepard signaled fair catch, and the Cowboys defense does its job. And they'll take over with the ball.
Hi, I'm Troy Aikman of the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys and myself would like to wish you all a happy Thanksgiving.
And Troy Aikman off to a very good start on this Thanksgiving Day. Cowboys leading 3-0.
You see his greeting note, there was no turkey or family around. He's a single quarterback in this NFL, so that was kind of it for Troy on Thanksgiving.
Oh, I think there'll be more. That's Emmett Smith, right side. Stopped by Manusky. And there's our friend Jim Hannafin with the offensive line.
But he's coaching down there, and he's coaching that 3rd down situation. Remember what happened the last play we saw? Tolbert made that rush against Lachey and got a sack.
Those assistant coaches spend a lot of time facing backwards, don't they?
Yeah, and writing upside down. And talking about the running play that was -3, too. I'll guarantee you that bothered Jim Hannafin, that first run they had.
Second down. About 8. That's Emmett Smith again. Stopped by Andre Collins. Maybe got a yard.
That was a heck of a play by Collins. Watch what they're going to do. Here's Charles Mann here. Here's Collins here. They're going to double man, and then Collins will come right off it. See right there as they start there, they start to double man right here. Collins comes up inside where he can't get him. You see, so as they double man, then Collins is free to come underneath that double.
3rd and 7. The Cowboys at their own 28, leading 3-0. 4:15 left to play in the first quarter. Darrell Johnson back with Aikman. Blitz coming, and Aikman going after it. To Irvin. Incomplete. All of us would like to say hello to the men and women overseas who are watching our game today by satellite, courtesy of the Armed Forces Radio and Television Service. We wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving.
See that when they tried to get Michael Irvin there on Darrell Green, and Irvin is the best receiver for the Cowboys, and Green is the best defender on the Redskins, and Green won that one. There was nothing for Aikman to throw to.
Mike Saxon to punt off the side of his foot. Brian Mitchell lets it bounce. It goes over his head, and the Cowboys get a break. Down to the 15, where Washington takes over. Dallas leading 3-0. 3:47 left to play in the first. Jay Anderson and the Giants before San Francisco gets a shot at him. Anderson having another great year, needs only 62 yards to reach 1,000 again. Giants and the Eagles this Sunday.
There's nothing the Redskins would rather do than win this one than watch that one and hope for the Giants.
That was Biner. Left side, gained 4, stopped by Ray Horton.
Down at the end, this is going to be a heck of a battle in that Eastern Division. I think the Giants, one of the best teams in all of football, but those Eagles aren't going to go away, nor are these Redskins.
It's going to be very interesting down the stretch. 2nd and 6 here. Rippon has Biner behind him. Pass deflected but caught, I believe, by Art Monk. A gain of 7 by Monk.
Hey, this is one of the things Joe Gibbs was talking about. He said every time we played Dallas, he said they seem to bat more of our passes down than anyone else. You can see here, one of the reasons that you roll out is to get away from the line. As Rippon rolled out, Daniel Stubbs was right there, and Stubbs, the ex-49er, just put his hand up. Rippon rolled right into it. Stubbs just jumped up.
That's Biner. He's going to be held for almost no gain. Ken Norton made the stop.
If these Redskins are going to do anything, they're going to have to start knocking some guys off the line. Watch McKenzie there, and Joe Jacoby, and the lead block and the trap and so on. They aren't, that front of the Redskins is not getting any movement at all on this Cowboy defense. They got to start batting them around a little.
2nd and 9 make it. Redskins at their own 27. Draw play to Biner. He is cut down far short of the first down by Danny Noonan. Thanksgiving Day at Texas Stadium in Irving. The Redskins and the Cowboys. The rivalry between these two teams somewhat went downhill when the Cowboys went downhill. But I think it's coming back.
But, you know, and the Redskins still remember it. And, you know, some of the Cowboys have got new coaching staff, ownership, and so on. They don't, but these Redskin players do. They have too many players like Jacoby and Grimm around.
Rippin incomplete. Intended for Ricky Sanders. Rippin again under pressure from the Cowboy rush.
And this Redskin offense in this first quarter is really out of sync.
Well, in fairness to them, it's been a really tough stretch. 3 games in 10 days, and they took a terrific physical beating from the Eagles on Monday night 10 days ago.
And then on Sunday against New Orleans, you know, that's no day at the beach.
No.
That's a good defense.
Robert Williams is the man who blocked the kick. Howard came up with the ball.
This Cowboy team is going after the Redskins. They overload to the left side. There it comes right up the middle. There's a block. He almost picked it up, and then Howard ends up with it.
You said they loaded up on the left side, and the fact that he's a left-footed kicker gave him a better shot at getting there.
Yeah, that was planned. They just didn't fall into a punt block. That was an organized punt block. That was overload and rush that side.
Two tight ends. Aikman rolling right. End zone, touchdown. Michael Irvin.
Jimmy Johnson said that was one of the plays, that bootleg play. That's one of Aikman's favorite plays. Johnson said we didn't even know that last year. He said we just found it out, so we're using it more and more.
He said to us yesterday, we're going to use some of those boots. It just worked. Extra point is good. The Cowboys lead Washington 10-0.
Yeah, Darrell Green was telling us last night when he saw him in the lobby, he said one thing. He said, I got to cover number 88. He said, but I don't want him to get anything on me, especially a touchdown. There's a bootleg. You see, you fake it there, then you come out, he has a blocker in front. He's looking at Irvin all the way. He said, because when this guy catches a touchdown, he celebrates way too much. And of course, this is what set it up. Right there, the punt block right there, that put him in field position. Then the bootleg and Michael Irvin working again on Darrell Green and getting open in the end zone. There's a bootleg, there's a throw, there's Irvin, and of course number 28 is Darrell Green right there. He says this guy celebrates so much it gets to the point that he embarrasses you.
Willis set to kick it off. Joe Howard and Brian Mitchell back deep for the Redskins. 10-0 with 57 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Howard at the 7. 40-yard return to bring you up to date. 49-yard field goal by Willis. Put the Cowboys ahead 3-0. And then Aikman after the block punt 12 yards to Irvin. And it's 10-0. That's the way it stands right now with the Redskins at their own 27.
Michael Irvin was saying that the coaches always tell him, look, when you score a touchdown, just don't get so excited. Act like you've been there before and you expect to get there again. He said, but I don't believe that. He said, when I get one, I'm going to celebrate it.
Redskins, as always, changing their formations around, and the Cowboys shifted with them. Rippin to Gary Clark. First down, Washington. A gain of 11.
Hey, the right corner there for the Cowboys, Manny Hendricks, really gave Clark a cushion out here. Look at him. He was about 10 yards off, and if he stays off like that, we look at it on the chalkboard. Here's Clark. Look at this cushion. As he starts out here, you're even going to see that cushion get wider as they start off, and that's way too much cushion out there.
First down, Redskins at their own 38. They go with 3 wideouts. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Monk. Rippon fired, but a little bit low.
You know, Rippon had been out 6 weeks with that bad knee, and he said that he couldn't wait last week to get that first hit. And I don't know if it's not the same thing here, because he gets a push, and then right there he gets knocked down. And sometimes that doesn't look like much, but see, he kind of grabs the knee. You just want to make sure after you hit the ground that you bounce up and you're still okay.
And everything's still in place. Second down. It was supposed to be a screen pass. The Cowboys on a blitz with Ron Francis didn't give Rippon time to set up anything.
As you say, Ron Francis, number 38, came on a corner blitz, and then it looked like the block looked like it was okay. We're going to see, if we just let it go here, we'll just see Francis coming, and you see the motion starts. Now Francis comes right from here. Now he just runs right by the guy who should be the blocker, who is also the receiver, and the ball goes over his head.
That scheme won't work. 3rd and 10. Rippon with time. Pass is complete. Ricky Sanders. That's going to be close to a first down. That's the end of the first quarter, with the score Dallas 10, Washington nothing. There's Darrell Green. You just saw in that United Way spot that great smile that John Madden was talking about before, and it stays there perpetually.
And he's really upset now because that bootleg that we saw down there for the touchdown was to his guy Michael Irvin, and there's nothing that a great corner hates worse than getting beat by a touchdown.
Maybe that smile's gone right now. This is Bynum from behind by Danny Noonan.
You know what's happening here, Pat? The Cowboys are out-quicking them, if that's a word, out-quickening them now, the Redskins. They're just hitting everything, and it's like the Redskins are a half a beat behind, and the Cowboys are a half a beat ahead.
It's a word, and that's what's happening.
I didn't out-quicken. You're getting out-quickened down there, Redskins.
Bynum has carried the ball 5 times and gained 2 yards. Reverse coming to Monk. Didn't fool too many people. Ken Norton knocked him out of bounds. I thought he was getting ready to throw when he first came around the corner.
Well, you know, he could have been. As we'll see the thing to reverse, you start the action to the left, and then you see Monk. You see him coming in motion right here. Now you see the handoff, and if you stop right here, I think he was looking for a receiver here. And then he decided that unless the guy is really wide open, he's not going to throw it. He's going to run it. Anytime you have anyone other than the quarterback throwing the ball, you tell him, always make sure the guy's wide open.
3rd and 17.
That is their first timeout.
Timeout, Dallas. So they have 2 left in the first half. The Redskins have all of theirs.
Hi, I'm Mary Ann Staubach, the wife of this really old football player. And we are sure glad that Roger's not on the field for Thanksgiving, even though the children and I enjoyed every game watching him.
It's great to have a wife with a sense of humor. Happy Thanksgiving from the Staubachs.
Roger Staubach. And he brought a lot of thrills, Thanksgiving Day and otherwise.
At last play, the Cowboys took time out because they had 12 men on the field.
Rippon Incomplete. Ray Horton was the Dallas defender who took a pretty good shot from Ricky Sanders.
This was a defense that Rippon was talking about last night. Mark Rippon, he said that we have to have success on first down and second down so that we don't get that nickel defense because they play that so well. And a big part of their problem, the Redskins have run 6 times so far, Pat, for -1.
Moshenko back to punt it. This time they don't try to block it. Derek Shepard's going to let it bounce. Now he picks it off. A flag on the play. Jerry Seaman will be moving into the NFL's front office come February as supervisor of officials.
Yeah, Art McNally, who's been the supervisor of officials, it seems like forever, is retiring after this year. And done a great job and kind of a thankless job.
Holding, number 40 receiving team, post-possession foul, first down.
Call against Bill Bates. So the Cowboys take over deep in their own territory at the 3-yard line, leading 10-0. Top 5 nationally in rushing. So don't miss the action tomorrow here on CBS. Action today. Cowboys have the ball at their own 3. Handoff is to Emmitt Smith, the penalty marker on the play. Stopped by Raven Caldwell.
I've really been impressed with these Cowboys today, Pat. I mean, they have come out here, and you talk about getting after someone. These Cowboys are getting after these Redskins. I mean, just everything they're doing. If you just watch them come out, you see Charles Mann here is up over the center now. He's the guy that jumps. You see, he gets in that zone. Now the Cowboys, in essence, get a free play. But you see, they're still getting to him quicker. Boom, they're getting there. They're handling them, and whap, they're getting through those holes on them. Then they're doing the same things on defense. Everything is quicker, faster. They're just playing at a higher level in this first half than the Redskins.
Brings up a 1st and 5 now as Mann did not get back. Cowboys at their own 8. Aikman again to Emmitt Smith. Outside the 10, a pickup of 3. Marcus Cook tripped him up.
I think, as you said, Jimmy Johnson there is doing a pretty good job here. You know, he had to come in and change everything, and you do, and you kind of take your young players, and he said that we didn't have any speed. We needed speed. He started getting some speed, started getting some quality players, has 3 first-round picks this next year. It's a slow process, but I think he's building a pretty good base.
And if they get lucky in the draft, and that's about what it is, they could be a power very shortly.
Well, what he's talking about now is some linemen, offensive, defensive linemen.
Aikman incomplete, intended for Robert Awalt.
I think this is the thing that we're going to see the blitz. What they want to do is, you see, they got the 9 men up there. Now that's the time that you really have to be able to throw the ball. And then look at him come after. We see 2 guys free on the left side right here, and that's what makes Aikman get rid of the ball. He just threw that one away.
And it brings up a 3rd and 2. Dallas at their own 11. First down. Darrell Green stopped him, but a gain of 12 gets him out of the hole.
I tell you, that is firing the ball. And here's the thing. You see right out here, this is a great matchup. Here's Irvin, and here's Darrell Green. He comes up, boom, hits him right here in the slant, right in this area here. You see the matchup down here in the bottom of the screen? Boom, whack, right in there, clear out, perfect throw.
Irvin has 3 catches for 30 yards, one of which was the touchdown, the lone touchdown of this game so far.
Usually when Darrell Green lines up on a guy, they don't throw it to him.
False start prior to the snap. Number 63 offense, still first down.
John Giesick.
You see right on the, you'll see his head right on the bottom of the screen here, right there. You see the movement right there. And then once that happens, he can't get back.
1st and 15 then. At the 18. 11:40 left to play in the first half. Aikman fakes to Emmitt Smith. He's going to run it himself. And out of bounds at about the 27. A 9-yard scramble.
And that's the bootleg. That's his favorite play. See, you get the back here, and you get him going this way. Then you get the quarterback faking here and then coming out here. And then once he does that, he has an option run or pass. You see the fake to the right. Now here's a bootleg. You see what it does, how it fools that guy there? Now he gets outside. Now he can either run or throw. That's a great position for a quarterback outside the containment and still have the option to throw it.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I wonder how you get up in the morning and say, well, what am I going to wear to the game today? I think I'll put that...
Aikman has to throw it away. It's incomplete. Marcus Cook was right in his face.
I'll put that outfit on there. Marcus Cook is a guy that gets the pressure right here. He starts. In fact, he's not even set. He's not even in a stance. So what happened, you had a guy outside. Gogan thought he was going to take the man outside. The man outside didn't come, and Marcus Cook was the guy inside who did come. I remember a year ago, remember Marcus Cook left the Redskins and he was going to go be a carpenter or something. Then his last one, I heard he wanted to build a sailboat or get on a sailboat and travel around the world. That type of guy makes a great defensive player.
Especially rushing the passer. Blitz on. One-handed catch by Darrell Johnston, but no gain. Charles Mann made the stop.
Well, Darrell Johnston is more of a blocker than he is a runner or pass receiver, and you can tell that when a defensive end covers him.
As you said in the beginning, in the first meeting between these two at RFK, the Redskins blitzed, according to Jimmy Johnson, 53 times. And now they're starting to come on almost every down again.
That's what they expect. Once they do it and they're successful, they're going to give you a heavy, heavy dose of it.
Saxon's punt to Brian Mitchell. He's got a little alley. And out to about the 49-yard line, stopped by Vincent Smith. 10-0, the Cowboys lead it.
While it's
from above, the Redskin huddle from Sky Eye. 1st and 10, Washington at their own 49. Warren was the man in motion to fake. Was to Biner. Didn't fool Stubbs. He was right into Rippon's face.
Yeah, that's that naked bootleg. Now watch what happens here. If this guy's a contain and he comes up here, now if you don't get outside on the bootleg, if you don't get outside the contain, then that happens. We saw when Aikman did it, he got outside the contain man, then he had an option run or pass.
I said it was Stubbs, it was Tony Tolbert.
It was Tolbert who really played that well by getting upfield, not going at the angle to the quarterback.
Rippon back to throw. Over the head of Donnie Warren. Way over the head of Donnie Warren. That was earlier today, the traditional game in Detroit. Denver's record drops to 3-8. Detroit 4-7 as the Lions won it 40-27.
That game started out like it was going to be like 80-60 or something.
3rd and 10. 2 Rippon with time to throw it this time. Flag on the play. The pass is incomplete. Intended for Kelvin Bryant. 2 flags on the play, as a matter of fact.
I wonder if they caught the same guy holding. Hey, Joe Gibbs, this is the first game that he's ever coached on Thanksgiving.
79 offense, penalty decline, 4th down.
And you'll see it here. The holding penalty is against Jim Lachey. Having a little tough time today because he got beaten once for a sack so far. Then he got that holding penalty there. I don't know, unless it came up later. That looked like, that part of it looked like pretty good pass protection.
Moshienko back to punt it. Good kick. Derek Shepard feels it at the 5. And is really hit at about the 10 by Ron Middleton. Dallas 10, Washington nothing. 10-14 left to play in the first. Those are the standings in the NFC East.
Of course, the Giants, they're just sitting back there giggling. Everything is going perfectly for them, and they play the Eagles, which it's always a tough game. You know, and something always seems to happen strange in that game. It goes down to the 4th quarter. We've done those games, a block kick or some lineman run one in or something.
Usually Clyde Simmons.
Yeah, someone like Clyde Simmons. Jerome Brown rumbles in with something. Reggie White knocks someone down.
Aikman to throw. Pass is caught by Kelvin Martin. 11-yard gain. Martin Mayhew was the defender.
This is the guy they usually work on is Mayhew. That's a heck of a catch, you know, because Troy Aikman threw that one where it could not be intercepted. But that makes it a tough catch. Watch the protection here. The Redskins are getting that push up the middle, but with no blitz, the Cowboys get them blocked. They get pushed into Aikman a little, but they give him just enough time to get rid of the ball. That was Darrell Grant, number 77, at Aikman's feet. And that's what you call a push by a tackle. Fire drill, fire drill.
It was Crawford Kerr, the left guard, that jumped.
Ball start prior to the snap. Number 68 offense, still 1st down.
You know, that happens. Well, remember Darrell Grant got the big push the play before, number 77. Now, here's the guy. He has to block Grant, who just got that push. And that'll happen a lot. When a guy gets a push or a sack, the next play you have to block him. You jump a little quicker than the ball is snapped.
1st and 15 from the 17. A lot of pointing going on. They do not blitz this time again. The pass is caught by Kelvin Martin. Mayhew again, the defender. They got 10 of it back.
I'll tell you one thing. If they can continue to give this guy Troy Aikman time, he is going to be a star in this league. And the minute they can get an offensive line that can handle everything, then this guy is going to be something special, because the Redskins are starting to get close. I mean, that push is there, and you see Cook is there, you see Mann on the other side, you see Grant at the leg, but they're doing it without a blitz.
Pitch back to Emmett Smith. Smith out of the pack, outside the 40. Finally stopped by Darrell Green. A gain of 17 by Emmett Smith.
That's this guy on this run. I'm not trying to make him the big thing, but you know, you remember these runs and these cuts and these plays like this, and you kind of think of Tony Dorsett. You know, always making the moves, always, you know, going one side, shaking, baking, that whole thing. He kind of looked a little like number 33.
They say he has the same kind of peripheral vision that Dorsett had.
I don't know that anyone ever had the peripheral vision Tony Dorsett. I don't remember ever seeing him really get hit solid.
Here's Aikman with Mann chasing him. Emmett Smith makes the catch, hit by Mayhew immediately. And that hurt him a little bit.
And Aikman was hit by man immediately, too. Smith went down on that end, and Aikman went down on the other end of the pass. Watch it here. He's turned. He has to do that to catch the ball. Mayhew just zeroes in on him, and kind of his back and the ball and everything hit the ground at the same time.
2nd and 6. Darrell Johnston and Tommy Agee are now in the backfield as Emmitt Smith was shaken. Here comes the blitz again. And Darrell Johnston, the ball carrier. The ball's loose and out of bounds. Picked up 2. Andre Collins again made the hit that knocked the ball loose.
Well, Darrell Johnston is a guy who's in there who's not really the quick or fast back type, but he's the blocker type. And Aikman says if I have to pass, it's always nice to have him in there because he's like another pass protector.
Dallas has 64 yards on the ground. Washington is -1.
I'll tell you, when you have a star #1 running back and he gets hurt, he sure draws a crowd around him, doesn't he?
A lot of doctors. Aikman, they're blitzing again. Aikman going deep for Irvin. No pass interference, no flags. Incomplete. They'll have to punt.
Michael Irvin is down there arguing. And so is Darrell Green and the official. The 3 of them had it. I don't know if it was anything. There's always going to be some pushing when you get that close. Irvin was saying right there that he was pushed. Now, Darrell Green's an experienced guy. If he is going to push, he's going to be in position to push where you can't see it.
6:43 left in the first half. Saxon back to punt it. Brian Mitchell has it get away from him. Now he's got it, and he's loose. Saxon made the open field tackle. He just rolled under him. Flag on the play.
And is Saxon a happy guy, happy that it's over? He was the only guy left between Mitchell and the goal line, and he had to make it. And all these people in this stadium were watching it. Watch this. This is a kicker getting ready, a punter. He's going to give him everything he got.
Number 57 offense. Illegal block during the return. Number 35 receiving team. Offsetting penalties. Replay the down.
So they'll go do it all over again. Emmitt Smith, the word has just gotten to us that he has a bruised wrist and should be back.
Usually with a wrist, if they find out it's okay, they'll just tape it up, because the only thing you worry about a wrist and a running back is he has to handle the ball. Over on the other side, the Redskins side, you can see they're working on Alvin Walton, the guy who is in charge of stopping a lot of that run.
Saxon again. And Mitchell again. Down by Bates at the 22. 6:22 left to play in the first half. 10-0 Dallas.
Hi, I'm John Riggins, and this is my family. Portia, Emil, Bobby, and Libby. And we'd all like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving, and especially all the families with the people over in the Mideast. We're with you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
We'd like to join Riggo in those wishes. Message from the fans here in Dallas. First and 10. Redskin ball. They trail 10-0. They're at their own 22. Ripping. Outside to Clark. By Norton.
Pass completed to Clark at the 32-yard line.
Yeah, you look at the Redskins' first 4 possessions, 3 plays, 5 plays, 8 plays, 3 plays. punt block. They've only gained -1 yards rushing. We just saw John Riggins on that Thanksgiving Day greeting. Boy, could they use him now.
Couldn't they? I can't remember him ever losing a yard. Rippon down by Dean Hamill.
Yeah, the interesting thing, Hamill, of course, was the ex-Redskin, but Hamill was also the guy that came in and sacked Rippon when he got the injury. You see him there, he just comes straight up the middle, and he goes, and it was that type of play right there. Hamill right at the knees, legal play, nothing wrong with that, just going for the sack, but the last time that they played was when Mark Rippon injured his knee on that type of play.
2nd and 15. Outside to Monk. Tackled at about the 34 by Jack Del Rio.
You know, Art Monk isn't wearing his socks up today, and he's been around this league a long time, and he has all kinds of records, and that's illegal. He'll probably get fined for that. Anyone noticed it, but you know, they have a rule in the NFL that you can't have any skin showing. And for a guy that's caught 704 passes to show that much skin on Thanksgiving, I don't know what they're going to say, if it's okay or not.
It won't be, thank you. 3rd and 9. Pass from Rippon to Sanders, complete. The Redskin first down.
This is the way the Redskins win games, and it's not going to be with their running game. It's going to be throwing to the posse. It's going to be throwing to Gary Sanders. It's going to be throwing to Gary Clark, to Sanders, to Monk, to all those guys. That's the way they have to do it. Here you see Sanders up in the top, just work up, just catch that ball, boom, make the runs. They got the speed. These guys are big play guys.
1st and 10. Just across the 50. Rippon semi-roll right. Going deep. Incomplete. Intended for Monk. Isaac Holt. Right with Art Monk.
Yeah, I think Ricky Sanders is hurt. Ricky Sanders was running down the middle of the field. I think that's the guy Rippon wanted to go to, but I think he has a pulled muscle or something, or an ankle, because he's limping around out there. He doesn't want to come out of the game. I don't even know that the coaches know it. But if you look at the last play right there that he caught, I don't know if this is a play that he gets injured on or not. But after this play, he got up limping, and then he limped on the next pass pattern.
2nd down. That's Sanders in motion. Rippon has the ball caught by Clark. And Clark battling for a first down. Stopped by Francis and Ken Norton. 12-yard pickup.
Here's a guy that I think has to have a big day today. I would think, you know, going in, Gary Clark and the Redskins, and if you're going to play on Thanksgiving Day, it just seems to me that it ought to be a Gary Clark type of game. You know what I mean? A guy,
tough guy.
Yeah, he's a tough guy. I mean, he'll run in there, he'll catch, he'll block, he plays wide receiver like a linebacker.
Biner behind Rippon. Biner left side. Not much. Ron Francis stopped him after a 2-yard gain with an assist from Jesse Solomon.
Real good defense all day by the Cowboys. Watch how they string it out. Boom, they control that line of scrimmage. Straight right down the line. Don't let him get his shoulder squared. As long as you can keep the running back going towards the sideline, he'll never make any yards on you.
2nd and 8. Sanders is out. 2 wide receivers are Clark and Monk. Outside Clark. Manny Hendricks stopped him short of the first down.
I think this would be big. I mean, the Redskins played the first quarter like they didn't even get a wake-up call today. And now I know it's tough, you know, playing in 3 days, but somewhere you got to get it going. And it looks like whatever it is finally getting going right now.
Sanders is back. And Rippon As we wait for the 2-minute warning, Rippon over to talk to Joe Gibbs and staff. Dallas 10, Washington nothing.
Your attention, please.
During the timeout, we can see it right here. He just went over there and they just taped over the shoe and taped over the tape job, because in the last series he has really been struggling trying to get that thing going. And I think if to go 3 wide receivers, which is one of their basic formation, and to be effective, they need Ricky Sanders.
3rd and 2. Sanders is to the left and now lines up behind Donnie Warren. Rippon back to throw. Hit by Bates. And really popped by Bill Bates.
Well, the Redskins got the first down that they needed. Now, of course, they can go to work on that end zone. The Cowboys have about 15 guys on defense. That defense will stop them, but they had to take time out because of it.
And it leaves 1 minute and 34 seconds left in the first half. Dallas up by 10. John Madden was saying earlier, no matter what the records, the Cowboys always seem to give the Redskins a tough time. Rippon out of the pocket and out of the end zone. Ricky Sanders was the closest Redskin receiver, but Rippon couldn't find anybody.
Well, I think he was looking first for Art Monk, and then he looked secondly for Ricky Sanders. But on the left side, he had Donnie Warren running free. Had he looked over, and I know it's tough. I mean, they're shooting live bullets back there at you, and you've been out for 6 weeks. But had he looked over to the left, no one was on Donnie Warren.
2nd and 10, 1 minute 24 left, first half. Rippon back to throw. Screen pass to Piner, and he's got some room. Piner out of bounds at about the 4 by James Washington. Picked up 15. The Redskins will have it 1st and goal.
Can't you just feel that the Redskins are speeded up now? That first half the first quarter they were like a step behind, and now they're just doing things better, more efficient. They're doing things quicker. They're running faster. They're playing harder. They're hitting harder. They're doing those kinds of things.
Much better pass blocking.
Yeah, it starts out there,
yeah.
and then it's hard for the quarterback to be efficient without that protection.
1st and goal from the 5. Rippon in the corner. Clark, touchdown. Nope. It came loose. He had it, lost it. He was hit by Holt.
Heck of a play by number 30, Isaac Holt. Right down here in the bottom of the screen, man to man. You see, he looks right into Clark's eyes. Holt does. And then when Clark looks up for the ball, he looks for the hands and puts his hands in there. See, he never looks for the ball. He's watching Gary Clark. And when Clark's hands go up to get it, Holt's hands go up to knock it out of there.
2nd and goal from the 5. Rippon on a draw play to Piner. Touchdown. From 5 yards out.
He almost broke the ball on that spike. That is what you call determination. Ernest Biner got that ball on a draw play. It was only a 5-yard run, but he is going to get this thing in the end zone. Watch it here. He runs through that one. He runs through that one. He runs through that one. He is going to cross the plane.
Low Miller's extra point is good. And it's 10-7 Dallas. Coming up at halftime, Greg and Terry will be joined by Pat O'Brien, who is spending his holiday as you are, watching the game and getting ready for Thanksgiving dinner.
I love y'all. Yo, Newt.
Only today, Pat's host will be Mr. and Mrs. Maurice Carthon, the Giant fullback. They and their other guests, including some of Maurice's Giant teammates, will be feasting on turkey and all the fixings.
See, Ernest Biner, he's saying he's going to come home for Thanksgiving, wishing everyone a happy Thanksgiving. He's also going to bring the football. And those two things go perfectly, Pat. I don't care. You can't beat a turkey and a football.
On Thanksgiving Day.
On Thanksgiving Day.
Become a tradition. I think
before that, Washington had 7 carries and 1 yard, and Biner got 5 on that one. I think that's why they were so happy, but that was just determination.
James Dixon and Derek Shepard back deep for Dallas. Lohmiller to kick it off.
Number 8, Jim Lohmiller. Number 21, James Dixon. Number 8, Shepard back deep for Dallas.
Dixon. Hit down by Kurt Govea at about the 15. Make it 16.
I think the Redskins were talking how they'd never had experience in Thanksgiving Day, and they came back. They took off Monday, practiced Tuesday and Wednesday, and it looked like they really didn't know what to expect, and they took the first quarter to figure out how you play a football game on Thanksgiving. I think they got it figured out now.
Yeah, I think so. Just 2 days rest. Aikman in the spread. Darrell Johnston back there with him. They have 1 timeout remaining. Out to Johnston. Taken down at about the 23 by Wilbur Marshall. 5-yard gain. Timeout Redskins.
Well, Mark Rippon's feeling a lot better. You know, you get there, you're off 6 weeks, come back, had a good week last week. Didn't have a good week of practice this week. Started off a little rusty.
50 seconds remaining in the first half. 10-7 Dallas.
There's something down there going on in the sideline. Like a shake. You pull down 1 point, the other one goes back up.
5, it's Darrell Johnston again. Herded backwards by a group of Redskins led by Alvin Walton. Injured Redskin.
Because we've seen that before. I mean, he could have ear-holed Aikman, and he let him off the hook.
And then got hit by his teammate, Marcus Cook. 1st and 10. Ball is at the Dallas 31, 34 seconds left. They lead by 3. Fred Stokes has taken man's place. Flag on the play. The pass is picked off. Martin Mayhew up with the interception. Finally out of bounds at about the 41-yard line of Dallas with 21 seconds remaining in the first half. Flag on the play.
That'll be against the Cowboys.
Illegal formation. There was no eligible receiver on the left end of the line of scrimmage covering up another receiver. Penalty will be declined. First down.
What happens here is they're saying that on this side here, because he's up in the line of scrimmage, now he cannot be eligible. He had to be back. They could have had him back and him back, then he's eligible. With him up, that makes the tight end eligible. Now when he goes out for a pass, then that's an illegal formation. You see, because the tight end down on this side is covered. Now right now, that's an illegal formation.
Back to throw it on first down, hit by Jeffcoat just as he let it go. Incomplete. 15 seconds left.
Tell you, Jim Lachey is having a tough time today because he's had some penalties. He's had a few problems here with pass protection. Watch him. His man is going to be Jeffcoat coming from right there, number 77, coming off of Lachey. So Lachey's man has a couple sacks today, and he had an illegal movement. This has not been the best half for one of the best tackles in pro football.
2nd and 10 with 15 seconds left. Ripping the throw. Ricky Sanders. Stopped by Bates. Shy of the first down. The Redskins still have one timeout. They just took it. 8-yard gain.
This is a tough one with 9 seconds and no timeouts. And you're talking about it would be a 52-yard field goal. You try and get one play. Now you can't complete it inside. So well, we can see they already made the decision. They're just going to go for the field goal right now, which I think they had to do.
Lohmiller has a very strong leg. He'll need it. This is going to be about 52 yards.
I think the ball's on the 35-yard line, so you add 5 for the holder. The holder, excuse me, you add 7 for the holder. This holder is 7 yards back, and then 10 to the goalpost from the end zone, so that's 52. 35 and 7 and 10, right?
Correct. Jeff Rutledge is the holder.
That holder always has to count 7 hash marks. He counts those hash marks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and puts his left hand down to show him that's where I'm going to spot the ball. See where his left hand is? That's where he's telling me he's going to spot it.
Got enough juice. Hit the upright. And no good.
He doinked the pipe. These soccer-style kickers do that. You know, they have to bring the ball in on a hook. We saw the same thing last Sunday. Butler did it. Kevin Butler from Chicago. They bring that thing in. They just put a little too much hook on it, and whap, it hits the pipe.
Don't forget to stick around with us at the half. Greg and Terry. Pat O'Brien, a giant feast.
Cowboys from their 35.
Pat enjoying turkey with Maurice Carthon and friends.
I saw that turkey they had there at that thing, Pat. I think we got a bigger one on the bus. They got a big old turkey. I think it's 34 pounds of what we got.
Well, you got to make a long trip. Stokes stopped Aikman. That's the end of the first half with the score. Dallas 10, Washington 7.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Ford and your local Ford dealer.
Bradshaw, age 3, awaiting her Thanksgiving dinner patiently, so we'll try not to keep her too long. Isn't that right? Our halftime score, the Dallas Cowboys leading the Washington Redskins by a score of 10-7, and not a bad defensive effort by the Cowboys so far.
They have played extremely well. You know, although they're the one that have been aggressive, the thing I'm surprised is there have been no blitzes by the linebackers of the Redskins to put pressure on Aikman. So a totally different thing than we saw the first time these two teams met.
They may discuss that at halftime, too. In the first game of the afternoon at the Silverdome, the Detroit Lions worked their Thanksgiving Day magic to the tune of a 40-27 victory over the Denver Broncos. Good day for Bob Galliano throwing the football.
Oh, what's the best route in all of football, Greg?
That's the crossing route.
You're exactly right. And there's a little short crossing route. You love it down inside the 10 because everyone plays man coverage.
And Barry Sanders had a great day running the football, 147 yards, 1 rushing touchdown, and 1 on the receiving end. And the Detroit Lions beat the Denver Broncos, who now fall to 3-8. Now, the New York Giants have plenty to be thankful for today. They are 10-0, and they're playing great football. We throw it across the Hudson River now to Hawthorne, New Jersey, and Pat O'Brien, who is joining in on some Giant festivities. Pat?
Well, you just missed their best song, Greg. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. You know, out of all the traditional Thanksgiving dinners, and this is one, you can bet that these guys waited till halftime. We're at Maurice Carthon's house. We'll get to him in a minute. The good news is that Everson Walls is not spending Thanksgiving alone. His family came up from Dallas. And Everson, what are you thankful for today?
Well, mostly I'm thankful for not being a Dallas Cowboy at this point. I never like playing on Thanksgiving, and I enjoy being undefeated.
You having a good time?
Having a great time.
And the food's good? All right, we can go up here because Sydney Cartham had the opportunity. Her husband said, I'm having a few guys. Do you ever do this again?
I won't answer that yet. But, no, it wasn't bad because really I was more like a taste tester instead of a cooker. Maurice is
and this is Jessica. She is gorgeous. And of course our host, Maurice Cartham. And Maurice, seriously, what does this mean for the players to have some place to go?
Well, it means a lot because I remember back when I was a rookie, George Martin invited me to his house, and it made me feel good because I didn't have any family here or anything like that. So I thought I would, return the favor and, get a great group of guys, love being around them. So, I thought this would be a good idea.
What's the hardest part about being a caterer to these guys?
Well, they already been giving me all this. If I don't have enough food, they was going to dog me out. So I was hoping I had enough food and the turkey wasn't raw because back in '86, Pepper went home, thought he could cook a turkey in an hour and his turkey was raw.
By the way, you guys have any plans for the weekend? Oh, yeah. Pepper Johnson's here. Pepper, let's talk about the game for a minute. Philadelphia's been doing a lot of talking this week.
Yeah, well, we're not the whooping type, We're gonna leave all the criticism and all the bad talk to the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, they trying to sell tickets up there. We're just gonna enjoy Thanksgiving right now, and what happens Sunday just happens Sunday.
So here's the Brother Johnson song, and after eating about 150 pounds of food here, I need to be at this practice tomorrow. I'll be dragging a little bit, but they're a confident group of guys. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Back to you guys.
Same to you, Pat. And boy, there's nothing better than getting the bill for 10 or 12 hungry football players on Thanksgiving Day, is there? The Giants-Eagles game will be among our 1 o'clock games, and then some of you will see the 49ers take on the Los Angeles Rams at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, in addition to sports, this has been a busy day in international affairs. President and Mrs. Bush spent Thanksgiving with the troops on duty in the Persian Gulf. We have a report from CBS News and Dan Rather.
President Bush came to Saudi Arabia partly to try to give U.S. troops a sense of his support and also a sense of mission. Along with a fatigue-clad First Lady and congressional leaders, the president got a warm welcome everywhere he went. And they cheered when he told them this is no open-ended deployment. It's a military operation with a clear goal.
We're not here on some exercise. This is a real-world situation. And we're not walking away until our mission is done, until the invader is out of Kuwait.
How's the chow, sir?
Not bad.
The president shared Thanksgiving dinner with troops in the desert and concluded his pitch with a gift of horseshoes. Tonight, he left for Egypt to continue talks with Arab leaders on the Gulf crisis.
Thank you very much. We'll see you.
Dan Rather, CBS News, with American forces in the Persian Gulf.
Kevin Costner in his first at-home, no-holds-barred interview.
He's lead the Redskins 10-7. Ricky Sanders with a problem with his ankle in the first half.
First half statistics for the Cowboys.
Looks as if it might have been worked out now. The posse today.
Well, you can see that they've really thrown it to him. 6 times to Sanders, 6 to Clark, 3 to Monk. But they don't have any touchdowns yet. And the biggest thing, really, they haven't gotten a lot of yards. And one of the things that Jimmy Johnson said yesterday the Cowboys want to do is, he said, they're going to catch them. He said, we want to keep them in front of us and make tackles. And they've really done a pretty good job in that first half of doing that.
They really have. Joe Howard and Brian Mitchell back deep for the kickoff. Brian Mitchell starts at about the 13-yard line. And again breaks out of the pack. Bring it down at about the 34 by Robert Williams. Redskins picked it up in the second quarter. Total of 116. Dallas a total of 142, 66 of which is rushing, which is something they felt they had to do.
And you can see that first quarter that the Redskins really didn't have it. They couldn't rush. They couldn't do anything. And the second quarter is, like I said, they got their wake-up call. And now we got a pretty good game here in the second half.
Ripping 12 out of 23. First and 10 Redskins. 33. Ripping a semi-roll left. Caught by Clark. Knocked backwards by Manny Hendricks, but a gain of 10.
Gary Clark just loves this kind of football, you know, where you get in there and you get in that sideline and you go outside or inside, and, you know, and the ball's being zipped in at you and you got guys hanging on you, and you know, you got pads going down your arms and stuff in your legs and gloves and everything, and he dresses like a nose tackle and plays wide receiver. And then the ball and guys and bodies and everything kind of gets there at the same time.
Close enough to measure, and he's that much short of a first down.
Look at that stuff that he wears. I think whatever the equipment man has, Gary Clark will wear, because he's found every place in his body has a piece of equipment. I think that's what happens when you only weigh about 170 pounds.
With all that equipment.
I'll tell you, he's one of the toughest 170 pounders in this league. In fact, he's not one of, he is the toughest 170 pounder in this league.
Very durable guy.
One of my favorite players. He's, you know, he'd be a fun guy if you were a coach. He'd be a fun guy to coach. I think he's a fun guy to watch. And
on second down, the handoff is to Biner, who fell down. Tripped perhaps by Dean Hamill, but he did not get the first down. I don't know what Danny Noonan had in mind, but I don't think it was Happy Thanksgiving.
Like some extracurricular activities, but the thing that fouls up that counter play is penetration. And the guy who got the penetration was Dean Hamill.
Loss of about 1.
I don't know, as you say, I don't know what Noonan, but watch 78. See him get the penetration right there. Now, when he gets back there, then there's nothing that you can do. That play doesn't have a chance.
3rd and 1. Biner has the first down and more. Knocked out by Ray Horton. At the Dallas 45, 13-yard pickup.
Well, they got the penetration again. Once they're going to get the penetration in the middle, but Biner is going to take it to the outside. You see, they get penetration in there, but as long as the point of attack is out here in that 7-hole or off tackle, then that inside penetration doesn't bother you. It's when you're trying to run at the penetration that you don't have a chance.
1st and 10. Griffin to throw it. Going deep. Through the hands of Gary Clark. Manny Hendricks in pursuit, but that could have been caught.
I'll tell you, it should have been. And one thing about Gary Clark and Mark Rippon, they're not afraid to throw into double coverage, because you see Hendricks there. He has the step on Hendricks. Here comes the safety over. He throws it right between them. That was a great throw by Mark Rippon, and Gary Clark has to catch that one.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 45, the Dallas 45. Cowboys leading by a field goal. Clark is wide left again. Rippon back to throw. Incomplete. Intended for Monk, covered by Isaac Holt.
There's a guy who's been a pleasant surprise for the Cowboys. Isaac Holt, remember they got him from Minnesota in that Herschel Walker trade, and Jimmy Johnson was saying that he has really been a great player for them, and no one works on him. They always work away from Isaac Holt, because what Isaac Holt will do is he'll gamble on you, and he'll come up with some interceptions.
Kelvin Bryant, the Redskin backfield, and out of it. Pass caught by Clark, but that won't be enough for a first. Bates and Hendricks right there. Pickup of 6.
Old number 40, Bill Bates. He's right. He's wrestling down there like he's a bulldog. Last week, what they did is they mic'd him up. Jimmy Johnson said he couldn't believe it. He said before the game, he was saying, okay, kickoff coverage, we do this. He was coaching everyone. And he said, what in the heck got into Bates? Then he found out that NFL Films had him wired. So everything that he was saying was being mic'd.
Eric Shepard back deep. Let's Sheikh's punt sail over his head, but it's going to be downed at about the 1-yard line by the Redskins, by Brian Mitchell. Dallas territory.
Our bug business had never been better. So one day we just looked at each other and knew it was time to go public.
Your auditor gives us an accurate picture of your capital needs. When are we going to hear?
It takes time.
All right, my friend.
Off to New York, guys.
The real Rocky is back.
Heart fire. Don't let nothing hold you back. Yo, when life says stop, you say go. So close the door. Heart fire. Come on, Tom.
Rocky V is an unqualified hit, a powerhouse 10.
Hi, I'm Bill Bates of the Dallas Cowboys. This is my beautiful wife, Denise, and our triplets, Graham, Brianna, and Hunter.
We'd like to wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving.
Bill Bates, we just saw him in the football field. Totally different guy off the field. And those, three children, of course, were triplets.
As Jimmy Johnson was saying yesterday, he gives you everything he's got, and sometimes more. Hit right at the line of scrimmage by Raven Caldwell. No gain. They're at the 1.
Of course, the Redskins know that they have him pinned down here, and they want to get him. See, the first from the goal line out to the 5-yard line is the first thing the offense wants to do, because then that gives your punter the normal 15 yards. They started out on that first down. The Dallas Cowboys had their short yardage offense in there to bring this ball off the goal line.
2nd and 10. Smith trying to get a little breathing room, stopped by Marcus Cook at about the 3, maybe the 2.
Emmitt Smith kind of hurt his wrist in the first half, didn't play much in the second quarter, and he really didn't run that thing in there. I think sometimes a rookie back is so worried about fumbling that he forgets to run, and he kind of eased that thing in there a little too much.
3rd and 9.
But when you're backed up like this on offense, you sure as heck don't want to make any kind of mistake.
Certainly not an interception. Darrell Johnston behind Aikman. Aikman gets out of the trouble, gets it out to Irvin, incomplete. They'll have to punt. Darrell Green with him.
Hey, Irvin knew that he had to get that first down. That was a tough thing about it. And he's arguing with the official. He's saying that Darrell Green was pushing him. Hey, that has been some battle all day between Irvin Green and an official in the middle of every one.
Ryan Mitchell standing back at the 40. Sacks him deep in his own end zone. He's got to be careful not to step out of the back of the end zone. Play. Mitchell to the Dallas 34, but it's going to be unsure roughing the kicker.
I think that was on Tim Johnson, number 78. He was the guy there. Now remember, there's 2 kinds of penalties. There's a 5-yard for just running into him and a 15-yard for roughing. Tim Johnson is down there saying, no, no, no. If they get the 5-yard, that won't be an automatic first down. If it's the 15, it'll be the first down. But looking at that, I think that's the 5-yard.
I agree with you.
Running into the kicker, number 78, defense. Still 4th down, 5-yard penalty only.
You remember that used to be an automatic first down. Tim Johnson's thinking there. He dodged a bullet. Now the punter will get more room, and Mike Saxon can breathe a little easier because he doesn't have to be backed up against that end line.
See if they come after it this time. Yep. Down in a hurry, Jesse Solomon. As soon as Brian Mitchell caught it, Jesse was right in his face. The Redskins take over. 10.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. Cowboys leading 10-7. It's tomorrow here on CBS. Rippon to Viner. Viner knocked down at about the 44. Jack Del Rio and Eugene Lockhart.
Number 55, Jack Del Rio.
Yeah, the defensive linemen, they're over there talking on the sideline. Monty Coleman, of course, being a linebacker. Charles Mann, there's Torgey, the old defensive line coach, and talking about what they did the last time and what they're going to do the next time. Those guys don't even watch the offense. You see that? Their backs are turned there. They're in their own little world, those defensive guys.
2nd and 6. Rippon to throw. Gets it out to Donnie Warren. Drop. He was wide open.
Well, Donnie Warren has been a blocker on this team. He's kind of half a tackle, and when he gets the ball, remember against the Giants, I think they threw it to him 10 or 11 times, and sometimes you block so much you think you're a tackle, you start thinking like one, and you forget to catch the ball.
He had only caught one pass going into that Giant game, and all of a sudden he comes up with 10 or 11, as you said.
And today he has one. That's about a normal one catch for 5 yards. That's about a normal Donnie Warren day.
3rd down, 6. Kelvin Bryant. Dragged down finally at the 5 by Bill Bates. 38-yard pickup.
Joe Gibbs always calls him the best 3rd down back in the NFL and maybe the best 3rd down back ever. Because he can not only run a pattern, then he can catch a ball, but after he catches it, he has the speed. Watch him. These guys have angles on him. He just outruns everyone. He almost outruns them all the way to the end zone, but he had to cut back. In fact, that looked like some poor tackling on the Cowboys' part, and not the greatest effort either.
This is Biner on 1st and goal. Hit behind the line of scrimmage by James Washington and Daniel Stubbs. A loss of 2.
I think the Redskins ought to go back to a running game, just running straight at him, because the Cowboys are doing an excellent job of stringing out the run. You see, they got the 2 tight end, and in fact, number 88, they put Jimmy Johnson in the backfield as a blocker. But the Cowboys are doing a great job of stringing out that outside run.
2nd and goal from the 8. Biner is still the runner. Rippon. Pass was deflected, incomplete. James Washington batted it up in the air and it went out of the end zone.
You can see Rippon is looking down deeper in the end zone. Washington, 37. Washington is just standing there. Rippon has to get it over his head. He doesn't. In fact, I think Lockhart got the first part of it. Yeah. But he had to throw it over Lockhart and over Washington to get it to Clark.
3rd and goal from the 8. Bryant back in the backfield. Rippon chased out of the pocket, finally in the direction of Warren, incomplete.
Great coverage by the Cowboys. The Redskins brought Gary Clark in tight like he was a tight end, tried to get him out. That's the guy Rippon was trying to go to. They had him double covered, and he had to come off to Donnie Warren.
Low Miller from 25 yards out with Jeff Rutledge holding. Good, and we have a tie. Dallas 10, Washington 10. 8:21 left in the third quarter.
The rest of it will take to San Francisco. By the time it gets there, that's going to be a carcass.
James Dixon returning the kickoff.
thing there when Pat O'Brien was over at Maurice Carthon's house. Those guys didn't look like they had enough to eat.
They had a lot of guys.
Yeah, well, they had a lot of guys, but I think they need some more grunts in there. Or they're going to get bulked up to take on the Eagles. I think they ought to bring another turkey. Maybe we ought to ship them a turkey. Or an old pumpkin pie or something. Ham.
All sounds good. First at the 21. A.G. and Emmett Smith behind Aikman. Here's Aikman back to throw under pressure again. The screen pass is picked off by Wilbur Marshall. Marshall down to the 11. Aikman's second interception. And the Redskins are in great shape.
He threw a screen pass out to the left. And he's going to throw the screen right into a crowd. And in the middle of that crowd was Wilbur Marshall. Marshall got knocked down by his own guy, Darrell Grant. Then he tried to lateral to Minuski. Now, of all the things that happen, I mean, that's an ugly thing. I mean, you throw a screen into a crowd, then you run into your own guy, and then you're going to lateral.
In attempting to lateral the ball, we had an illegal forward pass. The ball went forward. Consequently, 5-yard penalty from here. Intercepting team's ball. First down.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad Jerry Seaman caught that. I mean, Wilbur Marshall, of all guys, trying to lateral to Minuski. He's thinking, boy, was that stupid. It was a good interception, but why did I try and lateral that thing?
The M&M boys.
The Redskins from just outside the Dallas 20.
First down just outside the 20 for the Redskins.
And then the other thing, Aikman on the other side knows that one thing you learn in high school football is you never force a screen pass.
8:01 left in the third quarter. Draw play to Feiner. Hit it about the 20. Maybe he got a yard. Danny Noonan.
I know one thing, Joe Gibbs has to be upset because they don't have a running game, and because Joe loves to run the game. I mean, sometimes I think he still thinks he has Riggins in there, but he would, still like to be able to do it that way, but to really be able to move it, he has to throw it.
And Rippon will throw it. Incomplete. Art Monk. I think some of that lack of running started last year with the late success they had when they were throwing for 300 and 400 yards every game.
Yeah, and he doesn't want to do that, but that's what his best players are. I mean, Art Monk here is one of the best guys that ever played. Ricky Sanders, a lot of speed. Gary Clark. I mean, that's your best players, so you might as well get the ball in their hand.
Makes sense. 3rd and 10. At about the 6-yard line. He doesn't ever think he's down.
I'll tell you, he went down here. I think you're going to see him slip and get up. Watch Gary Clark right there, 84. You see him, he starts to make the cut. He slips, and then he just kind of stays down there and catches that hook. That was a good read by Mark Rippon getting that ball in there.
Clark has 7 catches. 1st and goal from the 6.
Clark thinks he weighs 270 pounds the way he acts sometimes.
Here's Rippon on the roll. Sanders touchdown. From 6 yards out from Rippon.
There's a guy who's gutting it up today. He has a bad ankle. He's playing in there. We see Aikman. He knows that it all started with his interception that he threw. Ricky Sanders is playing in there with a bad left ankle today.
Bo Miller Miller's extra point is good, and it's Washington 17, Dallas 10, with 6:31 left to play in the third quarter.
I'm Russ Grimm of the Washington Redskins, and this is my family. My wife Karen, my daughter Devin, my sons Cody, Chad, and Dylan. And from our family to your family, we'd like to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving.
Now, there's a guy who I bet you can really enjoy some Thanksgiving.
He looked excited about it, didn't he?
Yep. Dixon. James Dixon back to the 45-yard line. Almost broke it. Stephen Hobbs tripped him up after a 47-yard return.
That's what the Cowboys needed, Pat, to get some life back in them. You know, they had the first half, the first quarter, they were dominant, then the Redskins come to life, and they took the life out of the Cowboys, and the Cowboys needed something like that returned by Dixon to get them going again.
So they'll start from their own 45. 6:20 left in the third quarter. A.G. and Emmitt Smith are the two runners. Aikman to A.G. At the Redskin 49, stopped by Alvin Walton. Gained 6.
You know, the other thing that helps a young quarterback is always a good running game and a good offensive line. And the third thing is probably field position. That you can see Aikman in this part of the field has a lot more confidence than he did the last time they had the ball coming off that goal line.
When they're down there in the own one, there's not much you can do.
Those are tough positions, and it's a bad place to throw a screen, too, I think.
That's Emmitt Smith to the 40, 35. Alvin Walton knocked him out of bounds, a pickup of 14 yards.
That's the old counter gap, and boy, did John Giesick get a block, number 63, on Wilbur Marshall. Watch the moves here by Emmitt Smith. I mean, he gets in there, makes a heck of a move there, bounces it out, and then gets it up the field again. Let's watch John Giesick, number 63, right here. He's going to come, and right there on Wilbur Marshall, boom! That's the block that sprung him loose.
1st and 10, Cowboys. Emmitt Smith again. Not much room this time. To about the 34. Pickup of one, perhaps, Manuski. On the bottom of the pile for Washington.
It's amazing that Manuski is still playing. He hurt his knee a couple of weeks ago, and they thought he was going to be out for the season, and then he keeps coming back and playing. Manuski doing a good job. He plays in there most of the running down. You know, the Redskins got him as a special teams guy, and then he ends up as their starting middle linebacker.
He doesn't even look like the same guy we met last year.
No. He's a tough guy. He's a card-carrying tough guy, though.
Here's Aikman back to throw. Gets it down the middle to Novacek. Novacek to the 10. Dragged down by Wilbur Marshall.
I think that's the one they were working on, Pat, after all that blitzing 53 times last year. They have Novacek right there. Block, block, block. Then they ignore him. Then after they think he's just going to block, he releases right down the middle. That's kind of a check down to a tight end. You see him, he's blocking, blocking, blocking. Now he releases. So the front group is going after Aikman, and the back group has already dropped off.
1st and goal at the 10. Aikman to Smith. Scoots down to the 1. They had him in the backfield.
How in the heck did he get through there? Much of it just ran in. You talk about effort. We talk about earlier effort on the Redskins side. Look at this effort by Emmitt Smith. I mean, they got a part of it as poor tackling, but the other part of it is effort, and the other part of it is great balance.
Second and goal from the 1. Collins is the guy who had the shot at him in the backfield. A.G. and Smith. Smith deep. Emmett Smith. I haven't seen a referee signal. Yes, now I do. Touchdown.
Gets that one. 2 great runs back to back.
Willis to tie it up. And don't forget about that kickoff return by Dixon. Another tie, 17 all. Took the Cowboys 6 plays to go 55 yards. Smith on a 1-yard run.
Some guys just have a knack in the goal line, and I think Smith is one of these guys. Just to find the crease, just to find the crack. There's not a lot there, but some guys have that feel that wherever it is, they're going to find it and just get in there enough. Pete Banaszak, for me, years ago had that. He just had a great feel for the goal line. Emmitt Smith has it. You see, there's not a lot there, but he just finds a little part that there is, and after contact, knows where to go to get the soft spot. Tony Agee gets a lead block right there on Darrell Green, and that gave Smith the soft spot.
Emmitt Smith, as John said, a couple of outstanding runs to set up the whole thing. Both these teams will welcome the 10-day rest that they have after playing on Thanksgiving Day. Joe Howard and Brian Mitchell back deep for Washington. Mitchell at the 7. And he's sort of out of the pack up to the 30.
Lucky Parcells doesn't have to play.
1st and 10 at the 31. Rippon gives to Biner. And Biner gets out to the 37. A flag on the play. He's tackled by Ken Norton.
That's in the area where it's offensive holding. The umpire threw that right at the offensive line. And then called it on the defense, so threw it right at the defensive line too, I guess.
Got a big illegal slap to the head or something like that.
Holding. Number 73 defense. 1st down.
It's on Danny Noonan. 1st down, Washington.
Noonan's been in there in a battle all day. He's going against Raleigh McKenzie.
Sanders started to come out and limp back into the huddle.
Yeah, Sanders has been limping out of the huddle on and off the field for most of this game.
Less than 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. 17-17 tie. Timon wrestled down by Manny Hendricks. 9-yard gain.
Yeah, isn't it always amazing, Pat, when you look at Art Monk to realize that he's been around 11 years and all the games he's played and passes he caught, and he just doesn't look like he ages at all. You know, at some point you think, well, when's his speed going to go? When's he going to start losing some of those things? And I haven't seen it.
I haven't either. The handoff is to Biner. He'll get a Redskin 1st down. Picked up 7.
Well, I said earlier that the Redskins were going outside too much in their running game or bouncing outside because the Cowboys defense had done a great job of skating the line of scrimmage. That time Biner did get it outside successfully.
1st down, Washington from the Dallas 41.
Just over a minute left in the third quarter.
Cowboys sideline, the offensive lineman looking at those Polaroid shots.
Fake is Diviner. Rippon has the ball caught by Monk right off the ground. He just scooped it.
That was a heck of a catch. I mean, we've seen some great throws and some great catches today. Yeah, you look at that. In fact, it looked like Monk gave up on it. I don't know. It also looked like it touched the ground. That official's right there. He called it. I don't know that they won't review that one. Yep, they're going to.
Yep.
I don't know. Let's watch this one on the clicker here, and we'll see it when the ball comes. You know, at what point did it hit the ground? I guess it did.
So it brings up 2nd and 10 with the ball at the Dallas 41. 17-17 tie, 36 seconds left in the third quarter. Rippon for Clark. Going to be picked off by James Washington. Cowboys had a blitz going with one of their defensive backs, Ron Francis.
Well, we're going to see here, we're going to see the thing. It ends up in a double team down at this end. We let it go. I think Ricky Sanders was open in the middle. Let's see, we'll see. If we can stop it right here, we'll see. Here's a double on Clark. This is where I thought he should have gone because it looked like he could have hit Sanders in there. But he just threw that one. He threw it over. Clark had no chance for it. That was thrown into double coverage, and an interception by James Washington.
It'll be first down, Cowboys at their own 5.
Mark Rippon didn't read that coverage very well.
Smith to about the 9. Wilbur Marshall tripped him up just shy of the 10.
I like this Emmitt Smith. You know, he came to camp late and was a #1 draft choice and a whole lot. Really didn't have the training camp and get to know the offense, but I think the Cowboys got something here in this guy.
That's the end of the third quarter with the score. Washington 17.
Hi, I'm Jim Jeffcoat of the Dallas Cowboys. I hope you're enjoying the game and have a happy Thanksgiving.
And we add our wishes to those of Jim Jeffcoat. 2nd and 5 on the 10. Aikman to Emmitt Smith. Stopped by Alvin Walton after a gain of 1.
You know, it seemed like the Cowboys in this second half really haven't had much good field position. You know, I mean, this is the second time they've had to come off that goal line. And they get field position, then they look like they have a lot of confidence. But coming off here, this is really a tough spot because any mistake means a score for the other team.
That's what happened to him before when the screen pass was intercepted. I don't think we'll see that again.
No, I think that screen pass is probably put in the sack.
Aikman to throw it. Got the first down to Kelvin Martin. Pickup of 10, Bowles and Mayhew.
Boy, did Manusky hit. Watch this, Pat. You talk about a blitz. He comes here free. He puts a hit on Aikman just as he throws the ball. Watch this. No one blocks Manusky. Watch him. He comes straight up the middle. Doink. Right there. That is a heck of a throw when you have a guy making a hit on you like this. Look at Manusky, 91 coming. He puts his helmet right in Aikman's helmet, and he still not only gets it away, but completes it. That is a tough act.
On first down, Aikman fakes chased by Marcus Cook and just threw it away. Flag on the play.
I don't know if they're going to call. Yeah, they called just what you called, Pat. You said he threw it away. Jerry Seaman was there and said you can't throw it away. Now, a quarterback can throw it away or down to stop the clock. He can't throw it away to avoid a sack.
So they'll back up and have to do it again.
Intentional grounding, number 8 offense, wants it down offense, second down.
I think Aikman is saying that he was throwing it to someone. Jerry Seaman had to say that he was throwing it away to avoid the sack.
That cost him 13 yards, 2nd and 23. What breathing room they had disappeared. Redskins after Aikman, who gets it up and complete to Kelvin Martin. Stopped by Martin Mayhew. Got some of it back, 12 of them.
Yeah, you wonder if he got his bearings back. Remember, 2 plays ago, Minuski hit him just as he threw it. And you wonder if he had his bearings, because sometimes those guys are still a little foggy on that next play. But that third one there, he looked okay. I'm not sure about the second one.
3rd and 11. 17-17 tie. Darrell Johnston is a man in the backfield. Novacek is the man in motion. Redskins again put the heat. Novacek made the catch. 15-yard gain, a Dallas first down.
Hey, look at this. Novacek is running what you call an out and up. He goes out, then he goes up. But that time, pretty good protection for Aikman. But I'll tell you, this is a tough guy, this Aikman, standing in there and making throws like he is throwing here. Watch this here. This is pretty good protection, but they're still getting a push on him. I mean, to be able to throw the ball like that with a push like that takes a very talented guy.
Smith gets the carry. No, he doesn't. Aikman keeps it and rolls left by himself. Fake to Smith. Aikman gets 5 yards. Stopped by Mayhew again.
I think Aikman is still arguing about that thing where Jerry Seaman said he threw the ball away. But that's called a naked bootleg. In other words, you fake the handoff and you run out there, and it's called naked because you don't have any blockers. You don't have anything. You're just stripped of everything.
Jeff Zimmerman has replaced Crawford Kerr at left guard. They list him at 322. But everybody just laughs when you say that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he has his own zip code, this guy.
Pitch back to Smith. Nothing doing. Govea stopped him after a yard gain.
I mean, there's big Zimmerman there. I mean, and he gets bigger as he goes down. I mean, you start up there, and that he's wearing a flak jacket there, and then you know, as it goes down, it just keeps getting bigger. I bet he's 335, 340, 350, whatever.
It's a full package.
Yep. How'd you like to be a turkey and just hanging around and knowing he's coming home after the game?
3rd and 4. Turkey got no chance. Aikman, the Redskins blitz him. Got Novacek. Novacek spun down by Monty Coleman. Inside the 20, a gain of 40.
He's finally finding Novacek now, but I'll say so many of these passes have just been Troy Aikman. Here, look, he pumps, he looks, he runs, he finds, he throws, he hits, he does all these things. This guy in the second half, Troy Aikman, is putting on an amazing effort. An amazing show because he's only playing with half a deck.
Novacek's 4th catch for a total of 88 yards. 1st and 10, Dallas. At the Washington 18. Aikman has to call a timeout. 9:59 left to play. A 17-17 tie. Block punt led to the first Dallas touchdown. Turnovers 2-1. 2 interceptions by Aikman, 1 by Rippon. 1st and 10, Dallas at the Washington 18. Emmitt Smith knocked forward for a couple by Manusky and Marcus Cook.
I think these are names you're going to hear a long time on this Dallas side. One is Jimmy Johnson, the head coach. I think he got a full-time deal. I think this guy here, Emmitt Smith, going to hear a lot with the Dallas Cowboys, and of course Troy Aikman. I think that next level of great quarterbacks, when you say that Montana's the quarterback of the 80s, who's going to be the quarterback of the 90s? This guy here, when they get this whole team together, he's going to be one of them.
A.G. and Johnston, the 2 runners this time. Got it to the corner. Incomplete. Intended for Novacek. Mayhew right with him.
See, Novacek is a tight end, but he's more of a receiver than a blocker, and they put him all over. This time, he was lined up outside as a wide receiver. That was a perfect pass. That was right in there, but Mayhew knocks it loose. You see the ball is in there, but when he gets that left hand in there, that just shakes it out of there. But it was still a heck of a throw by Aikman.
3rd down and 10 at the 18. Down goes Aikman. Man and 2 or 3 other Redskins knocked down Troy Aikman.
And that's the end of the offense for Jimmy Johnson, so he takes off that headset, gets ready for the defensive headset, and ready for his rookie kicker.
Ken Willis, who's been very steady. He's another guy that's going to be around here a long time. 41 yards away is Willis. Novacek is the holder. Has the lead again, 20-17 with 8:44 left. The Cowboys and the Redskins are enjoying Thanksgiving.
I guess this is what you call a rivalry game.
I guess. Brian Mitchell. Hit out of bounds by Dixon. No, I beg your pardon. Robert Williams.
Here we were talking about Dallas not having good field position. You can just look at, their starts here. Their average start is on their own 14-yard line. They've had 11 possessions, and the average start on the 14-yard line. And again, that's what I think Troy Aikman has done such a great job with poor field position.
Redskins 1st and 10 at their own 31. Rippon going deep for Clark. Incomplete. Covered by Manny Hendricks. Jeff Coat put a little heat on Rippon.
And you see it out there. That again, Manny Hendricks was just running stride for stride with Gary Clark. You see it, he looks in towards the receiver, and as Clark's hands goes up, Hendricks's hands go up. That's the thing that you wait for. You don't have to put your hands up until the other guy's hands go up. And Hendricks timed it perfectly.
2nd and 10. Pass to Sanders is complete. But Hendricks stops him after a gain of 5.
He was right there. They know that if you're going to go to one corner, you go to Hendricks's side. because people tend to stay away from Isaac Holt on the other side. Because Holt is one of those guys who will get interceptions off you. So if you're going to work on one side or the other, you usually go away from this guy.
3rd and 5. Kelvin Bryant in the backfield. Rippon. Pass complete to Bryant.
Now it's funny, they got a corner. Kenneth Gant, number 29, who was covering Kelvin Bryant as a corner. I think that's the respect that they have for Kelvin Bryant.
Kelvin got enough for a first down. 1st and 10.
You know you're not going to cover Kelvin Bryant with a linebacker. Most people try safeties, and the Cowboys went to a backup corner. They had everything but the ball.
7:40 left to play, and the Cowboys 20, Washington 17. Reverse fake. Batted away by Stubbs.
There's a guy that's enjoying playing. Daniel Stubbs again. You're not going to get outside. See, Rippon's going to come this side. Stubbs comes up here, keeps his containment. That's a big thing when you got a running quarterback. See the bootleg? Now watch Stubbs up there. He doesn't come in. He keeps the containment and then bats it back at Rippon with his face mask.
2nd and 10. Rippon with time, gets it to Clark, and Clark is down by Ron Francis. 3-yard gain is all.
That's exactly what the Cowboys wanted to do, was let him catch him in front of him and tackle him. This is the other thing they wanted to do. Look what they've done to Mark Rippon here. 2 sacks, hurried him 13 times, knocked him down 10 times, batted balls twice, and then again the interception.
Three-man rush this time by the Cowboys. The pass incomplete. Sanders had it, juggled it on the ground, and it's incomplete.
That is defensive convergence. You go and you play and you read the quarterback, and when the ball is thrown, you converge on the ball. That was 3 Cowboys in convergence.
Derek Shepard back deep for Dallas. Oshinko to punt it at about the 14-yard line. Staggers around to about the 22, and Dallas will take over after a 40-yard punt. They lead by 3.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. They called Roger Staubach Captain Comeback and Drew Pearson Mr. Clutch. With this prolific pair, the Cowboys were never out of a game. Staubach led Dallas to 23 successful fourth-quarter comebacks. And when he put up a prayer, Pearson was usually there to answer it. As individuals, Staubach and Pearson combined on the Hail Mary pass. Together as teammates, they made the Cowboys the best they can be.
Hi, I'm Nate Newton of the Dallas Cowboys, better known as The Kitchen. After this great traditional game, I'm going home to my real kitchen and have me a big turkey, and I want to wish y'all a happy Thanksgiving.
Big Nate's had a good day.
Yeah, he has. He drew Charles Mann, who was the best of the Redskin defensive linemen, and he's done a good job against him.
1st and 10, Dallas. Their own 22. Aikman will throw on 1st down. Maybe. Gets it out to Kelvin Martin.
Tell you one thing they're going to do as we watch Nate Newton here go against Charles Mann. Nate Newton is going to have help on the blocking. Now this is, see, he knows that he's going to get it back in there. There's Emmett Smith, and Emmett Smith, they just sandwich him in. You see the two big old guys, big old Charles Mann, big old Nate Newton, they sandwich poor little Emmett Smith in between them. He's a sacrificial lamb.
2nd and 4. That's Emmett Smith behind the line by Wilbur Marshall and Charles Mann. A loss of 1, less than 6 minutes left.
Of course, the one thing that Nate Newton says he wants to run at him. Here you can see John Giesick this time blocking out on him, Newton blocking out, and they're going to run inside. They get the onside block pretty well, but they don't get the offside block, and in comes Wilbur Marshall from that backside.
Makes it 3rd and 4.
Wilbur came in, he looked like he was shot out of a gun. That reminded me of a Lawrence Taylor type move.
Johnston, the lone runner. Flag on the play on the far side of the field. Awalt caught the pass. Darrell Green says it's against them.
He's saying it's either against Awalt or them, but Awalt said it's against them. But I'll tell you, Troy Aikman made a heck of a pass.
Number 28 defense, penalty decline, 1st down.
Well, that's going to be out there right here. Darrell Green, number 28, going against Michael Irvin. See, and they say he grabbed him about 3 times. Yeah. I mean, he's been grabbing that 8. He was taking a check on that 8, but Aikman made a heck of a throw on that thing, getting out of the way. I mean, there was a rusher coming through, and Aikman just played right off him to get the ball out there.
1st down, Cowboys, as they move out to the 38-yard line with 4:45 left to play. To Emmett Smith. Nothing there. This game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and this CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Dallas Cowboys, and the National Football League is prohibited. It'll be 2nd and 9.
That's a frustrating thing. These Redskin linemen there, you're down 20-17, and the other team has the ball, and you just can't wait to get back in there to score. And of course the Cowboys, they know with 4 minutes and 17 seconds are within that 5 minutes, so it's going to be longer, but they just want to keep the ball away and keep moving it.
They just got the ball snapped. That's another 1st down, Dallas. That's Kelvin Martin again. Martin Mayhew wrestled him down. 13-yard pickup.
Hey, and this again is Aikman here. He really got this one in here because that was good coverage. Mayhew didn't give him any room at all, but watch him zip that thing in there. I'll tell you, that had to be that tight or that wouldn't have been a completion. That's about as good a coverage as you can get and still have something completed on you by Martin Mayhew.
Martin now has 7 catches for 70 yards, and the Cowboys have been able to get the ball to their wide receivers to a much greater degree today. Aikman, Smith could be gone, chased by Darrell Green. Still on his feet, Emmett Smith, touchdown. Cowboys 27, Redskins 17, 3:10 left. Howard and Mitchell back deep. Brian Mitchell drops it up to 3 and then gathers it together. He's done a good job returning kicks today. Stopped by Ron Francis.
Great run by Emmitt Smith, but let's watch some of the blocking on it too. Watch John Giesick here. He's going to come in on a double team, then he's going to come up and get one here and then another one here. He ends up getting 3 blocks as Smith comes through there. Just watch the right guard. There's one double team. Boom, he picks off Bowles right there. Boom, he picks off Walton right there. And then the run. And Darrell Green misses a tackle right there that is not like Darrell Green.
Emmitt Smith, 20 carries, 118 yards, is ripping back to throw to Monk. Hit down by James Washington. 47 games ago, 47 was the last time Dallas won 2 games in a row. Ripping back to throw it. Gets it to Kelvin Bryant, out of bounds at about the 48-yard line by Francis.
You know what everyone's saying now is, you know, the prevent defense, don't loosen up too much. You know, they're saying, Jimmy Jones, what are you doing this for? Why are you making it so easy when you get ahead? Well, you're using your defense and the time and the score. See, the Redskins need 2 scores, so it's tough. You want to be a little soft so they don't get a quick, easy one, but you can't be too soft.
2nd and 7. Sanders, the move man. Ripping. Incomplete in the direction of Clark. Washington would have been out of bounds even if he caught it.
See, watch number 84. Gary Clark has gone out of bounds. See, when he goes out of bounds right there, now he can't come in and catch the ball again anyway. But he could have kept going. See, the official threw his hat off. See, he has no hat on his head. When he goes out, he throws his hat down. But Clark could have come back in and should have come back in to not let an interception occur.
3rd down and 7. 3-man rush. Somebody move.
All right, old Danny Noonan got that thing going back like an avalanche, didn't he?
False start, going backwards on the center. Still 3rd down.
Against the Redskins.
They say it's on the center, but the minute Danny Noonan saw it, he just started pushing, and that whole Redskin middle started going backwards.
The coordinating producers of the NFL on CBS, Charles H. Milton III and Ed Gorin. This game produced by Bob Stenner, directed by Sandy Grossman. The NFL Today produced by Eric Mann, directed by Duke Strutt. 3rd down and 12. Redskins. Rippin, pass batted away. Ray Horton.
Cowboys now are just playing that zone. They're playing it a little tighter, but they're doing a real good job of converging on the ball. See, Horton goes in front, someone comes behind. They got everything surrounded. Of course, this is 4th down, and the Redskins have to go for it because they need 2.
4th and 12. 2:22 left to play. Texas Stadium is rocking the ball, batted away by Noonan. Incomplete. Dallas will take over. The senior producer of the NFL on CBS, David Winter, the executive producer, Ted Shaker. And a special Thanksgiving greeting to our cameraman, George Graffio, who is on IR. Happy Thanksgiving to George.
And watch this. We'll see Noonan on the line of scrimmage just jump up, bat it down with his left hand. But I tell you, that play and this game and this play today has brought the excitement back to this stadium that I haven't seen in a while. This place is
a long time.
Things have come alive.
Hand off to Emmett Smith to the 45.
Emmett Smith.
He picked up 2, and here's the way it looks now in the NFC East.
Well, I'll tell you, Washington is still in this wild card thing strongly, but Dallas really isn't out of it. You think at 5 and 7, they're not out of this thing. And of course, Philadelphia has that big game this week with the Giants. And then, they would like to make something on the Giants, but I think that they have to think of being the best wild card team.
Well, you think about the Cowboys and their playoff possibilities. They, of course, get 10 days to rest. Then they play a game, and then they get their bye the week after that.
Yeah, so if they have any injured players or they're beat up, they're going to get that, or they're going to be able to come back. And here comes a happy, happy man, the owner of the Cowboys, Jerry Jones. I'll tell you, when he took over, it was a tough situation. And
how about those Cowboys?
He went through a lot of things. He's a very positive guy, isn't he?
He is a real promoter, motivator, and very shrewd. 2nd and 8. Emmett Smith lost the ball. He got 11 yards.
I think that turkey leg, Pat, for the player of the game, I think we got to go down there and whack off 2 legs, because I see 2 players of the game here today. I mean, I don't think you could not give it to Troy Aikman, nor do I think you could not give it to this guy, Emmett Smith, because he has really played hard.
2 minutes remain. The Cowboys 27, the Redskins 17.
This holiday season, every time you use the American Express card, you could win a trip anywhere you choose to go.
So it's going to go to San Francisco, and this guy has to get it. Troy Aikman, the job that he's done today, the way he's hung in there, the way he's thrown the ball, this is an amazing effort. I mean, the numbers 20, 31, 1 touchdown, but he made some throws today that a lot of guys couldn't make, and this guy has to get one. Emmett Smith, look, 22 yards, rushes, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. Quick, did everything. I got to give 2 turkey legs out today, Pat. Both the legs go to the players.
Aikman is 20 out of 31. And you saw the book on Emmett Smith.
Yeah, this Dallas Cowboy team came out here fired up today, and they just out-quicked the Redskins early. The Redskins came back and made a little run at it, but then the Cowboys come back and got them again.
This is a Redskin timeout.
Yeah, there hasn't been a lot of that when you see Jimmy Johnson talking on the sideline with a smile on his face, and over the years you haven't seen this much gloom on a Redskins sideline either, because I think when you talk about coaches and coaching staffs, and there's no one that does a better job than this group led by Joe Gibbs. I think he's had a tough time with injuries and so on, but this is an outstanding coach.
Well, they got 10 players hurt in that Eagle game on Monday night. And they played last Sunday, of course, and then again today. That's a lot to ask.
And like we said earlier, there's some reason they've always had trouble with the Cowboys. I mean, there's some teams that just match up well against you. The Cowboys are that team. Whoa, avalanche. Where'd that truck come from? Get a license.
Marshall.
Wilbur says, I ain't taking this sitting down. Said it ain't over till it's over. We're still playing football. Cowboys were trying to go to the kneel down. The other guys wanted to play. Still some bite in that dog.
Coming up tonight on CBS, primetime Pets at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, followed by The Flash, then Doctor, and then Face to Face with Connie Chung. That's tonight on CBS. And of course on Sunday, don't forget that big match between the Giants and the Eagles, plus other regional action. Check your local listings.
I'm really impressed with this guy, Emmitt Smith.
Oh boy, you have to be.
I think once you get him and they get a better offensive line, and they're going to improve that in the coming years, and that quarterback and Michael Irvin out there. I mean, they're starting to put together some things that are going to be an exciting offensive team when they all get it together.
Well, they used to talk about them being a finesse team, but this is not going to be a finesse team. It's not today.
There's old Nate Newton. He's still going against Charles Mann. In fact, if that turkey had a third leg on it, I'd give one to old Nate Newton, too. They only got 2. They ought to put 3. I'd have something left I could cut off. But old Nate Newton fired out, and he just took Charles Mann back.
I should have gotten you 2 turkeys.
Yeah. Thank you for the turkey. I think old Nate Newton's on the way to the kitchen right now. He wanted one more shot at him before he went to the kitchen.
1:15 left to play.
I think Nate says, I wasn't going to take any of that stuff they did on second down. He's still fired up. He's a turkey leg runner-up.
Must be another part of the turkey we could give him.
I was just thinking of that. They ought to cut out, probably with Nate Newton, you'd need the whole rest of the turkey, but we got to have something. But you cut the leg, then those things that are on the back. What are those, like the wings? Yeah, okay. He's played pretty well.
The wings are not on the back.
On the side there, you know that thing that you go down from the legs or up from the legs. Maybe we just give Nate all the stuffing.
Saxon's punt's going to go into the end zone, and Mitchell won't bring it out. 56 seconds remaining. Redskins out of timeouts.
Troy Aikman talking to his center. Mark Stepnowski did a good job today. I think Nate Newton got a headache. All that talk about turkey and kitchen and wings and stuff like that.
You got to geek out.
We've got to geek him today.
Rippon gets it up to Kelvin Bryant. Brought down by Bates. Gain of 12. Clock running with 42 seconds left to play. Dallas leading by 10 points. Almost picked off by Isaac Holt. He will gamble.
That's the one that they've been waiting for all day. He says we see these names go by and you realize all these people that have been here with us and we've appreciated over the years and lent so much to this game, and and they're also away on Thanksgiving, and just this time to say thank you to all of them, because we talk about pros in the field. These guys that work here with us are real pros too.
We wouldn't be here if they weren't.
Sure appreciate it.
Here's Rippon. Gary Clark, the intended receiver, incomplete. Stops the clock with 28 seconds left. They finally did sell out for this match between the Redskins and the Cowboys. Jerry Jones very happy about that. They didn't sell out soon enough.
I don't know that there's anyone happier. I'm sure there are some coaches, some players, Troy Aikman, Jimmy Johnson, the coach, that's happy, but I don't know that there's anyone any happier right now than Jerry Jones.
Over 60,000 here. They didn't sell out soon enough to lift the blackout locally, but they did finally sell it out. Out of bounds is Monk. Picked up 10, 22 seconds left. First down, Washington.
I think when you think of the draft choices that the Cowboys have, getting 3 first-round picks and all that stuff they got for Herschel Walker, I think that, you know, next year they're really going to be ready to make a move on something, and the year after that probably would be back where they used to be.
Rippon going for a group of receivers. Batted down. Isaac Holt.
Well, I'll tell you, there's nothing that can spoil a Thanksgiving more, though, than being on the other side, Pat, when you're the visiting team and you got to travel back and you've had that short week and then you lose and someone says Happy Thanksgiving. It doesn't make a lot of sense. On this side, it does. Jerry Jones looks like he's coaching down there.
Yeah.
They're talking to Ken Norton. Keep your right up. Redskins just never got their running game going today. They had 55 passing plays and only 15 runs.
That's Donnie Warren. Dives out of bounds. Kenneth Gant tackled him after a gain of 17. 4 seconds left now. Cowboys up by 10 points. This should be it. Incomplete. Final score, 27-17.
It's here, the Atlantis Waterbeds Thanksgiving Sale.
This Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only, receive free bedding with the purchase of any waterbed. Our giant showroom features nearly 50